Now the pen tool icon is this one over here. Do not use that one. While it does look like the pen tool, it does something very different. So we're going to go to this over here, which is the pen tool. Now the pen tool creates lines, but it also allows us to create shapes. A line is an open shape, if you will, whereas a shape is a closed line. Basically, this is not a shape, that is a line. Whereas something like this, that is a shape, and something like this, that is a shape. It's a closed loop. If we zoom in on this mountain here that I've created, let me demonstrate how the pen tool works. There are two ways that the pen tool works. You can create rectilinear shapes like this, and you can also create organic paths like this rather. This is a shape because it is closed. There is no beginning, there is no end, whereas this is just a path because there is a clear beginning or end and a clear beginning or end. The way that you start is kind of like a dot to dot joining like you did when you were a kid. You start somewhere, move to the next point, make another click, move to another point, make another click, move to another point, click, 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 and now I need to go back to the start. Those of you who've got keen eyes will see that my cursor has changed to a pen tool which has got a circle in the bottom right next to it. That means it's going to close the loop, and you want to do that. Click on that, and now that is closed. So just recapping, one of the ways that you use the pen tool is simply just clicking, 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 clicking. Let's do this again. So I've got most of it right, but there's certain areas which I want to refine. You do that using this white arrow tool called the direct select tool. The direct selection tool allows me to take that anchor and click and drag that into place where I want it to be. Conveniently for you, you guys can see that I've got a template behind here. However, when you guys are creating your own imaginative works, you won't have a template. Well, you might if you scanned in a piece of work. However, if you were just freehanding this, you won't have anything there. And that's where this comes into play, because you can move your anchor points around. The other way that you can use a pen tool is by clicking and dragging. So the clicking motion before does not get any curves. The way that I create curves is if I click and drag, and now I have these things called anchor points. Illustrator shows you a preview of where it is going to draw the path next, and you can be guided by that. So you can click and drag, and now you can see that it's created that curve. If I move my mouse anywhere else, it shows where it's going to go. Now, I can always edit my path using the direct selection arrow. So let's go ahead and try our best. Because the wave is going in the right direction, I'm going to click and drag my mouse to the right so that it gives me this wave going up. If I clicked it going to the left and tried to go here, it would not be the correct way and it'll be going in the opposite direction. I can always edit that later on, but that's just a bit of advice. If you look at a path, try and map out which way is the best to go. So click and drag to the right. I'm going to come here and click and drag up, click and drag. Notice how I'm always going in a clockwards manner. I'm going to click and drag over here, and the next part is going to be different. While I am going to click and drag over here, it doesn't look correct, but like I said, we can always fix this up later on. I'm just going to continue clicking and dragging, and finally clicking and dragging over here. Now comes the fun part where we need to edit. So I'll click on my direct select tool. I'm not happy with that particular area, so I'm just going to refine that, moving that into place. I think I'm happy with that now. Now this area over here, if I wanted the path to go this way, I need it to go over there. But notice how even though that is fine, everything else has now flipped around, which is not what I want. So while I'll leave it for this side, we need another tool. And that other tool is found under my pen tool. If I press and hold, I've got the anchor point tool, and this allows me to break my curve. So it makes sharp corners curved and it makes curved areas sharp. I can also, once I have this, split my curve. I can also make one disappear. Once it's disappeared, I can't get that back, so I need to activate that again and then click on this to then bring it into place. I'll further refine using that white arrow tool. This is mostly good to go. So there you have it. Some basic lines that you've seen using the line tool and the geometric tools found here, as well as the lines and shapes created using the pen tool, which is over there. Have a go at it. Again, you can't break Illustrator, just explore.